Hi Pisces! I'm going to rank the signs you are traditionally most compatible with, and I'm going to give you a super easy trick to use. Two of the most fundamental secrets behind how astrologers actually make compatibility determinations, so that you can do this for yourself. After this video, you'll have some actionable tools to start figuring out how compatible you are with every person you meet. First, we'll go through the signs that are most compatible with you, and then I'll explain a bit about how it can still work out even with the signs that didn't make the top of the list. So to begin, one of the easiest shorthand tricks astrologers use to determine compatibility is by considering the elements associated with the signs in question. The doctrine of classical elements, fire, earth, air, and water, was first established by the Greek philosopher Empedocles circa 450 BC. Each of the four elements was assigned 3 zodiac signs, and Pisces is team water. Water signs are most compatible with earth signs and with other water signs. Astrologers also use classical geometric principles to determine which signs have the most harmonious relationships. These principles were established by the Greek-Egyptian mathematician and astrologer Ptolemy during the 2nd century CE. Signs which are 180 degrees apart, opposite to each other in the zodiacal wheel, often have a special affinity for each other. It's the classic notion that opposites attract. Your opposite sign is Virgo. These opposite signs develop a synergistic balance between them, and they tend to make a great pair. There's a very fated energy with these two. They often form deep and life-changing attachments. Even if they don't stay together, their relationship is still formative and deeply significant in some way. These are the people who have a very strong impact on you for better or worse. Because you're diametrically opposed, you have different but complementary traits, meaning each person has what the other person lacks. The key to making this pairing work is to appreciate the other person because they're different from you. It can sometimes be tempting to feel like they're an opponent when they don't do everything your way. But if you're open to learning from their perspective and allowing for some give and take, this can be one of the most rewarding matchups in the zodiac. With this pair, there can even be a sense of finding the missing puzzle piece or completing each other. The ancient Greeks who developed these astrological compatibility systems believed in the possibility of soulmates. In Plato's 4th century BC Symposium, he writes about how the gods originally created humans with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs. Zeus, the king of the gods, fearing his new creation would be too powerful and pose a potential threat to his rule, decided to weaken us. He threw down thunderbolts to split us all in half, so that humans physically appear as we do today with only 1 head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. The thing is, our original form only had 1 soul, meaning that once we were split, each person contained only half of their soul. Hence why we spend every lifetime here on Earth searching for our other half. We suffer the pain of separation and feel the strong desire to merge once again with our soulmate. The good news is that astrology can help you find that person, and it is often one of your core 6 most compatible signs. The signs which are 60 degrees apart from your sign in the zodiacal wheel are typically also an excellent match. These are Taurus and Capricorn. With these signs, you understand each other very well and have a good chance of working through any challenges that come up. You will likely feel that a relationship with one of these signs is particularly easygoing, cooperative, and supportive. Taurus and Pisces make a great team. The Taurian gentle patience and creativity complement your empathetic and imaginative qualities. Capricorn and Pisces, of course, also make a great pair. Pisces' creative vision and Capricorn's talent for manifesting tangible results can combine to build a life of beauty and substance together. One way or another, every earth sign has something lovely to offer you. Think about what happens when we combine the water element with the earth element. Adding earth to water adds vital nutrients like minerals, improving the quality of the water and its life-sustaining powers. People pay a premium price to drink mineral water from springs that have been in contact with certain types of earth and rocks, which impart high concentrations of these nutrients. Earth enhances water and supports its potential, making one of these 3 signs an optimal choice if you're looking for love. Comment what signs you typically get along with best, Pisces. I'm interested to hear about your own experience. And please subscribe. I would be so happy to have you with me. So now we'll talk about your fellow water signs. Water with water is considered to be a good match because, of course, it's the same. And therefore, there's no elemental contradictions which may evaporate your energy, as may sometimes be the case with the fire or air elements. The two other water signs are Cancer and Scorpio. With these signs 120 degrees apart from yours in the zodiacal wheel, you can usually get along very well. The potential for a deeply emotional connection is high. Cancer and Pisces is an excellent match. These are probably the two most soft-hearted and gentle signs. You can sort of be each other's safe space. You both have a very creative streak as well, which may be something you can bond over. Scorpio and Pisces is also an excellent match. These are both very emotionally deep and sensitive signs. Scorpio is one of the few signs that can truly go into that boundless emotional space with you. I'm not necessarily going in the exact order of which signs I think are most compatible with you. There's some debate among professional astrologers as to whether the signs that are 120 degrees apart from yours, or the signs that are 60 degrees apart, or 180 degrees are better matches. In my astrological practice, I actually see all of the above being true in different contexts. If you want to know the exact order of how I would rank your compatibility prospects, this is my list of the signs I typically see being most harmonious with yours in real life experience, in descending order, with number 1 being the most compatible. But it's kind of splitting hairs. There are good chances for a very positive relationship with any one of your top 6 most compatible signs. Next, we have Pisces with another Pisces. When you have two people with the same sign, there's generally a good sense of understanding. You get where each other is coming from and what makes each other tick. And that can be very positive for long-term relationships because there's a built-in intuitive sense of shared experience. No two Pisces are exactly the same, but you will share enough similar characteristics that you should be on the same general wavelength. The downside with two of the same sign is that it can be like too much of a good thing. There's sometimes not enough differing energies to create a healthy balance. I would advise this pair to put some energy into the areas of life you tend to neglect or things that aren't your strong suits, so that you aren't missing anything important. For example, Pisces is a very soft, sensitive energy. It's an unconditionally loving and open sign, but two Pisces together might be vulnerable to getting taken advantage of or pushed around by more domineering energies. Try to consider any parts of life which your energies aren't naturally suited for and come up with solutions for how to deal with those necessities. Maybe you two need a fire sign friend who can give you some tips on how to assert boundaries when dealing with difficult people or confrontations. Speaking of fire signs, now we'll get into the part of the video where we talk about the other two elements in the zodiac: fire and air. These are not traditionally as compatible with water signs like Pisces, with the exception of the air sign Gemini and the fire sign Sagittarius. These signs are 90 degrees apart from you in the zodiacal wheel. In terms of astrological geometry, this is a challenging but still reasonably viable alignment for compatibility. While there can be some tension in these pairs, they also offer a galvanizing or catalytic effect. Pisces and Gemini are both very open-minded. Both have a creative and imaginative side, which can be fun ways for you to find common ground. However, Pisces may find Gemini's approach to be too scattered, analytical, or cold, while they may consider your intuitive approach to be illogical. My advice to get Gemini's attention if you feel a bit emotionally disconnected is to talk with them. An air sign is always going to respond well to some good, witty conversation. Pisces and Sagittarius both have a strong desire to understand divine wisdom. You're both seeking some kind of higher truth, meaning, or purpose, so you can find ways to bond over those shared interests. However, Sagittarius energy can feel a bit overbearing for Pisces, and they may run roughshod over your sensitivity at times. As a fire sign, Sagittarius isn't inherently going to know what you need emotionally, but they are typically eager to learn. Sag loves a quest, so if you present it to them like it's an adventure to explore each other's feelings, that may be quite helpful towards building a deeper connection and fulfilling your emotional needs. The rest of the fire and air signs have no significant classical geometric or elemental alignment with your sign, meaning that your energies have no fundamental association, and therefore these are the signs you will tend to struggle at developing a harmonious connection with the most. The fire signs Aries and Leo, and the air signs Libra and Aquarius. Both of these elements, fire and air, are things that typically dry up water sources in the natural world. If you subject water to the extreme heat of fire, the water eventually boils away and dissipates. So fire signs can have an enervating effect on you. You may feel like their intense energy just kind of sucks all the life and vitality out of you. Meanwhile, water that gets evaporated up into the air and becomes water vapor is separated into individual molecules. One of the fundamental qualities of water is its desire to merge. When you put 2 drops of water in the same vicinity, they will naturally seek each other out like magnets, merging and fusing together, uniting as one entity. In this way, water signs focus on the greater whole rather than the components. They navigate and understand life by osmosis and absorption. Air signs, in contrast, are very interested in separating components. They navigate life by much more linear and cerebral means. The nature of water is to combine, while the nature of air is to disperse, meaning that air signs can leave you feeling out of sorts, distracted, disconnected, or kind of all over the place. Does that mean a relationship with one of these 4 is doomed? No, it just means that you will have extra hurdles to overcome with these signs in comparison to more compatible signs. Probably the most important thing to note in this entire video is that these sign comparisons are just the tip of the iceberg. They are barely scratching the surface of what a true comprehensive compatibility reading with a professional astrologer looks like. For example, a full compatibility consultation with me takes about an hour, and this is what I'm looking at. The one sign we typically identify as in colloquial terms, like our sun sign or our rising sign, is just a fraction of what astrologers are considering in compatibility readings. We're taking all these other relevant details into account as well. To truly judge compatibility and offer the best tools to build a successful relationship, we need to consider how every point in your unique birth chart aligns with everything in the other person's chart. That said, for obvious reasons, it would be impossible to cover the entirety of such a complex topic in a short video like this. We have to start somewhere simple. So the information here is a good place to begin understanding your interactions with other people. I just want to make it clear that single sign comparisons like this are not the full story. You might meet a Libra who you get along with great because everything else in your charts lines up beautifully. Okay, Pisces, thank you so much for listening. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, share it with your friends and loved ones, subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much to everyone who is already subscribed. It means a lot to me to have you on board.